right now in Ukraine, though. More loss of life and disruptions in electricity and water after a new onslaught of Russian missile attacks across the country, including Kyiv. Police say a residential building in the capital was hit, killing 3 people. Authorities report every region in Ukraine is seeing power outages. Kyiv has also suspended water service, and the power units at 3 nuclear plants have been switched off due to the attacks. CNN's senior international correspondent Matthew Chance is in Odessa on the Black Sea. Matthew, Ukrainian officials saying earlier that the entire region was without power. What's the situation now, and what are the details on the ground?
Well, the situation here in Odessa is pretty bleak. It's one of the areas that's been very badly affected by the Russian missile strikes on energy infrastructure targets, and you might be able to make out behind me, the city is almost in complete darkness. People have generators, of course, and they are providing their own electricity as much as they can, but in general it is a very dark city which is sort of bracing itself for further attacks in the future. There's been a wave of missile strikes just over the course of the past few hours, not just in this region but across the country. You mentioned the Kyiv region around the capital being struck as well, with 3 people killed there, causing damage, the missile strikes, to a residential area on the outskirts of the Russian capital. But also in central Ukraine as well, a horrific attack by a Russian missile on a maternity clinic or a hospital in which a small child, a small baby, was killed, just a couple of days old. The mother and the doctor were pulled out of the rubble alive, but a child lost their life. Another indication of just how grim and brutal and full of blood this conflict has become. It all comes, of course, amid that concerted campaign by Russia to target Ukrainian energy infrastructure systems, to really plunge the country into darkness, into cold. This, as the temperatures really start to plunge as well. We're at the beginning of the winter here, the first snows have settled over much of the country, and it's when, of course, energy requirements are at their highest. And so it is looking at this point, even though the authorities are doing what they can to try and restore energy connections, it's looking like the prospect of a very cold, dark winter in the months ahead, Becky.
And what prospects of a solution to all of this, an end of this war at this point, Matthew?
I don't think unless I've missed something, I don't think we're looking at much of a prospect of that at the moment. It seems that both sides are digging in, trying to hold on to the territory they've got at the moment as we approach those winter months where the fighting will inevitably decrease in its intensity, simply because the temperatures are expected to go so low, perhaps as low as minus 20 degrees centigrade in some parts of Ukraine. It's also the fact that both sides have kind of minimum conditions, if you like, for peace talks to take place, but neither side are willing to meet those conditions of the other. Ukraine at this point feels that it's been taking territory in significant quantities from the Russian occupying forces, and so it is in no mood to make compromises when it comes to territory. And for their part, the Russians feel they haven't started or completed the things they set out to do in the first place. And so my guess is the conditions are not there at the moment, and the political will is not there at the moment for a serious peace negotiation.
Matthew Chance is on the ground in Odessa in Ukraine. Matthew, thank you.